is there room for both Kenya and Nene in this friend circle?
I hope so.
Well, first of all, how are you doing being trapped inside with your daughter, Mike's daughters, Mike, everybody's in one house?
And Noel's girlfriend as well.
And Noel's girlfriend, okay.
Yes. We somehow inherited her as well. So how am I doing with one man and 3 other females? It has been a learning lesson. We've had to have a couple of different house meetings. We had to lay down some ground rules. We had to, make chore assignments because apparently they think that they don't have to do anything except eat all the food and sleep all day. And make TikToks, of course.
You're going to come into this house and you are going to clean. And if anything come up missing in my house, I promise you, you gonna come up missing.
I think we've made some pretty impressive TikToks. I'm just saying. I haven't seen everybody else's.
No, I'm not upset about anything. Why wouldn't you have banter with me?
That's my point. That it's like you're in your feelings. But beyond, Andy, what was the question?
She said that she didn't like it, that you said
that it's not all about her.
I was supposed to play Andy, but I got busy. So Kaylee and Ashley, they were like, we'll just have Mike do it. So Mike just stepped in for me. Little did I know he was going to kill it. I don't think I could have ever done it as well as he did. So, God doesn't make mistakes.
I mean, is this testing your relationship at all? No time apart?
Oh, absolutely. For sure. This is the ultimate test right now. Because here's the thing. If we get into an argument and I get mad at Mike about something, normally before the coronavirus quarantine, Cynthia Bailey would go check in a hotel. I'd be like, you know what? I'm not gonna stay here tonight. I would go and drive myself from Porter Ranch to Beverly Hills and check myself into a nice little hotel and be mad. Now I have to still sleep in the same bed, in the same house, and I'm just happy to go out for any reason at this point. But yeah, things have changed for sure. And we have definitely been tested. But it's kind of forced us to, this is kind of like what it would really be like to be married and like work from home together. Like I take my hat off to anyone who is married and work at home every day and see their partner every single day. Because you guys have to realize Mike and I are in a long distance relationship. And even if we weren't, with both of our careers, I travel a lot for work, and so does he. So we don't see each other every single day, morning, noon, night, breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
But now you see each
for the
other.
Kids. No, we see each other. We see each other.
We see each other.
We see each other. We good.
And the same thing is for the kids. Like, I'm not saying I don't love our kids. I just don't know if I like them all the time. It's like, I'm really getting to know our kids very well. It's like, wow. Yeah, it's tough.
Well, you guys had teased that you were thinking of a 10-10-20 wedding date. Has this whole situation put any snags in planning?
Well, we've had to really think about it a little bit. We did speak with our wedding planner to see what our options were in case we had to postpone it or move the date back, because quite honestly, at this point, we don't know when, we don't know what's going on. We don't know when people are going to be able to go back to work, or if they're going to be able to go back to work, even if they still have jobs. I don't know if people will be able, a lot of our friends are from out of town. I don't know if they'll be able to afford to come to our wedding at this point. Like, I just really don't know. Or even be in the spirit to go. Like, this has been hopefully people are going to come out and want to celebrate and just go everywhere they can go. But I really don't know, Bryce. It's kind of concerning because we still have the date holding, but we did speak to the venue and our wedding planner to see what our options were if we needed to move it back, because we don't know what's going on. We can't even shoot a reunion yet. So I can't even worry about next season yet. I'm just trying to get past the reunion whenever we get to that date.
I know that was sad to hear. And then it was very sad to hear that Andy is battling the coronavirus. So that's a whole other thing too.
No, like seriously. And I was the last one to see him actually. I was the last, well, not the last one, but the last housewife of Atlanta to see him. I saw him a couple of weeks ago, and everybody was fine. I've been texting with him. I actually sent him the video of Mike playing him.
What was his review?
Oh, he was like, it was the best laugh of the day for him. He really enjoyed it. He actually posted it on his story too. But yeah, he got a good laugh out of it. So he said he's feeling much better, by the way.
Very good to hear.
Yeah.
You brought up Noelle's girlfriend. Yeah, she decided to go public with her girl in the middle of all this too.
Well, it's kind of like, she's here. She's originally from Baltimore. So, we didn't want her to just feel like, left out. So we're home. We have food. We have supplies. We have gloves and Lysol, and I'm cleaning like a man. I mean, when I tell you I'm cooking and cleaning around this house, like I've literally gone from a Real Housewife of Atlanta to just a real damn housewife over here. Like, I'm not even kidding you. Like, it's crazy. I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, we just wanted to include, Alexis, and it's been great. So, it's cool. Like, I didn't want her to just be stuck by herself. So
yeah, a very intense meet the family moment, though.
Yeah, well, this is a test to their relationship as well. I don't think they've spent this much time together either. So we'll see who comes out on the other side. We will see, because this is truly a test from God, for sure.
We have some rapid fire questions we're asking everybody that we're checking in on, like how they're keeping busy. So what are you watching on TV? What are you binging?
Mike and I just finished watching Hunters. So good. Now he's watching The Shy. I watched Madam C.J. Walker's story. I watched that story. And then I just watched The Banker, which was great. On Sundays, Real Housewives of Atlanta, which is really good.
And guess what? Nene came to one of my events.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
She made the effort.
I did my sex scene.
How was it?
Was a lot of grinding and flipping each other over.
What Ty say?
I was not happy.
I'm concerned about, I was a certain size for my reunion dress when this started. Let's just say I hope that I can actually still fit it by the time we get to the reunion. Because, I always joke about relationship weight. Now I think I got to add some corona weight on top of the relationship weight. Some quarantine weight, or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, mama getting thick over here. But I'm trying to work out. Actually just started doing Trillas.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Level up, 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 level up. All this on me so yummy.
It's like really a good workout, actually. I'm better at that. The TikToks are harder than, you need kids involved in those. But the Trillas, you just put on music, you set it, and you just start dancing like a lunatic. And that's been helpful. It's like stressful, this whole thing. Like, this has never happened before. And it's just kind of like you feel like you need to be doing something. You're trying to be productive. And then, like, part of me is like, okay, I'm going to organize the pantry. I'm going to organize my closet. I'm going to go clean out the garage. And then part of me is like, you know what? I don't know when it's going to end, but I'm going to enjoy this because I never get to sleep in, just sleep all day, get up, eat, go back. Like, that's not my life.
Right.
And, I have to say, it's, at least a good week of it is kind of good. But now I'm like, I'm ready to go back to work now. I'll go somewhere. Go anywhere.
What is the routine? Are you getting up and getting dressed every day, or is it just like, I'm in pajamas?
Oh, no. That stopped a couple of days ago. I'm like, today was probably one of the first days I actually made an effort and put some makeup on. I went from, first I was trying to make a little bit of an effort and at least put on sweats. Now it's just strictly pajamas and onesies at this point. It's like, what's the point? Mike, it's like, everybody looks a mess. So it's like, all right, the only time we actually try to pull ourselves together is to do a TikTok. So, or video.
That's the secret.
Yeah.
All right, well, we got to talk Atlanta, which, thank God, we still get to have every Sunday in this crazy time.
Yes.
How are you feeling now that the season's kind of winding down? How do you feel about this season overall?
That I started the season thinking it's going to be the worst season of my entire life, because coming off the reunion that I came off, I knew that, I just basically was like, okay, great. I get to fight Nene the whole freaking season, which is not fun for me because at the end of the day, no matter what, I still have love for her. You know what I mean? We don't ever have to be best friends or sisters or any of that stuff, but there is still love there for her. So anyway, said all that to say, I felt like, by the time we talked and, we're around each other in the group and everything, I felt like we are in a good place. We certainly, I don't know if it'll ever be like it was, and that's okay. But I feel like we kind of left it in a respectful place. Now, I'm not saying, she may throw a little shade here and there, whatever. And that's fine. I'm used to shade. I'm a Real Housewife of Atlanta. So that just kind of comes with it. But I felt like all my relationships with all of the girls, I got some stuff I got to get straight at the reunion. But for the most part, I don't think any of it is beyond repair.
What do you want to tackle at the reunion when you finally get to do it? What do you want to work out there?
Well, I want to definitely try to get to the bottom of Snakegate, what that was all about, because that whole, theory, this whole Snakegate thing put out the perception of that I was, doing something bad to my friend that I wasn't doing. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like when we were friends, I'd never, said anything. It was always praise. If anything, I was like, oh, you're like, of course, then it was like, oh, you're Nene's lapdog, whatever. People never thought I ever went against her with anything, which is not even true. But anyway, the point is, I know who I am. I know my intentions. I know I'm a good person. For someone to intentionally put out like, oh, to imply that I'm like somebody that I'm not saying I'm perfect. And, if I feel like you're coming for me, yeah, I'm going to respond as well. So, but it's only like at this point, if we're not friends, then if you say something, then I'm going to say something. If I say something, I'm not mad at you saying something. It is what it is. It's called, we're not friends anymore and we don't like each other anymore. So, so you may have some things to say about me and I may have some things to say about you, but it was never when we were friends. I'm a very loyal person. And, that means a lot to me, for people to understand that. I mean, there's a reason that I'm one of the only friends on the show that ends up in a damn friend triangle all the time, because obviously my friendship matters because people actually want to deal with it and fight over it. Yeah. So that I definitely want to talk about. And, like some of the stuff, I get a lot of stuff about Kenya, who, Kenya is my friend. I'm not saying I agree with everything that Kenya does on the show, but, there's a lot of things that Kenya does off the show that, that has proven to me her friendship to me. And one of the things that you will not ever see Kenya Moore do is attack me, in the press and say crazy stuff. That's not what Kenya does. Some other people do it, but that's not what Kenya does. So it's like how you are on the show and off the show. You got to balance all that out and be like, okay, is this a friendship worth, saving or throwing away?
Yeah, we talked to Nene probably about a month ago, and she said similar thing, like, you're in a good place. It's probably never going to be back where it was. And the only way to get it back to that place, she said, would be to take the show out of the equation. Maybe. You know what? I don't disagree with that. When I see Nene outside of the show, like I ran into her in the airport not that long ago. I mean, I was like, oh gosh, should I speak? I should act like I don't see her. And I was like, this is so stupid. Like, I work with this woman. This is someone I used to spend a lot of time with. So I just marched right over to her and was like, hi, how are you? And she was very nice. Hi, how you doing? Whatever. Where you heading? Oh, I'm heading here. Oh, you heading here. It was totally fine. Look, you can call it whatever you want to. I just call it respect. I see you. I'm going to say hi. Am I going to invite your ass over to dinner? No, but I'm going to say hi. So that's just what it is. I think it's so stupid to see someone that you work with and you have a sisterhood with, however dysfunctional, and don't acknowledge that person. I'm not doing that. I'm too old for that. Well, we've seen one of those dysfunctional relationships all season long between Nene and Kenya, and I went back into the mid-season trailer to kind of pick apart what haven't we seen yet. It looks like they have another moment at what I'm guessing is the finale party.
Yeah, they do have another moment there.
You ain't gonna do nothing with me now. I ain't gonna never be what you want.
Is there room for both Kenya and Nene in this friend circle?
I hope so. I mean, for me, I'm in a good place with Nene, and I'm in a good place with Kenya. And I'm not going to not be friends with Kenya because of Nene, and I'm not going to be friends with Nene because of Kenya. I'm not going, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to not be friends with either one of these ladies because they don't like each other. I'm just not going to do it. Now, does it suck to be in the middle of that? Yeah, especially on a TV show. You know, in real life, I could just keep them apart. Just call it a day. On the show, we have to all see each other. And, you know, I am good with showing love to both. And whatever they have going on, you know, they're just going to have to work it out.
In all that, the fans were very surprised to meet Ken. We learned there's Kenya, and then there is Ken. What did you make of, because you got to see that firsthand, the kind of two.
Oh yeah, I've been met Kenya and Ken because I've been around Kenya and Mark, you know, out away from the girls as well. You know, look, Kenya is Kenya. You know, she is her own person. She's an independent thinker. She's smart as hell. You know, she's shady as hell. You know what I mean? Like, she is a big personality. But I will say, you know, on and off the show, you know, in relationships, not just with her husband, but particularly with Mark, she definitely is a little bit more on the submissive side. She is very much like, oh, you know, if she's on the phone with me, she's like, oh, Mark will be home in 10 minutes. I got to get off the phone. I got to make sure his food is ready. I got to make sure the house is clean. I got to make sure let me go. Like, she is like really like wants to be a good wife. And, you know, that Ken is definitely her more submissive, you know, wifey side.
Okay. I know we only have a few episodes left. Of what's still to come this season, what are you most excited for the fans to see?
Oh, goodness. The finale was, you know, it was great to come together to celebrate for Kenny's new baby, Blaze, for a shower. So it was great to do that, but it just went so far to the left that it just wasn't as enjoyable as it could have been. All I know is my ass ain't in the hot seat no more for the rest of the season. So I won't be in the hot seat anymore until the reunion. So I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.